UMen recommends. Access umen.uk.net.
So, welcome everyone, and it's great to see everybody's face today. I'm Christian Harrison. I'm a reader in the School of Business and Creative Industries. I'm privileged to also be the facilitator of this research seminar series held by the Business School. And we have had these seminars over time, and a lot of people have been attending. So thank you for coming. And it's been a very fantastic one. And we have approached December. This is the first day of December. So technically we're getting to the end of the year. So that's scary as well. But it's great to see everyone here. I always tell people, and I think we started this, because we are always many, I don't like getting everybody to introduce themselves personally. But because we are doing this virtually, it's always great to tell us where you're coming from. So please feel free to use the chat box and just say hi. So anywhere you are, I know Paulette is not in Scotland, and she's very far from us at the moment. So say hi to us. Tell us where you're coming from. Sometimes, I think it was a speaker that said months ago that you feel free to introduce yourself in your native language. So if you're Welsh, feel free to use your Welsh. If you're Chinese and you want to use Mandarin, do what you want to do. If you're Nigerian and you're Yoruba, you can introduce yourself in your native language. That would be great. But it's great to see everyone's faces, really, despite the challenges that we're having personally, and of course with the COVID situation, things are also, they're trying to do everything that we can. But rather than focus on all that, of course we know the ground rules of Zoom. Please try to mute yourself when you're not talking. Like I said before, feel free to put your camera on and let's just see your face. You can, but if of course you have to take away your videos, no problem at all. If there's an emergency, please don't hesitate to leave your computer. Unfortunately, we don't have lunch to give you here, so you can get a glass of water as well. So you're free to do all that. But of course, you didn't come to hear all that. You came to listen to a very, very interesting seminar today. No pressure, Mohammed, but I've been waiting for this. It's of course, apart from the fact that I have a lived experience because I'm also BAME, but I've never worked in the library before. But it's great to have this talk. Like I said, we've had several seminars, but this to me is going to be another highlight of our year. And we're going to be looking at BAME employees, or what we call the Black, Asian, Minority Ethnic employees, their work experience in the UK public sector, an empirical study of academic and research libraries. So Dr. Mohammed Ishaq has examined the academic libraries. And so coincidentally, we have some well-established librarians here today. So I don't know whether that's coincidence, but I'm not saying anything. But it's going to be great to hear Mohammed's view about the challenges and implications of BAME employees within the library. This research is novel. Mohammed will be telling you so much about the funding he has gotten from this, and of course, everything that he's achieved over time. But of course, first, I would like to also introduce Mohammed himself. I tried to summarize Mohammed's CV because Mohammed's CV is very, very elaborate. So I will just provide a synopsis of who Mohammed is. Of course, many of you already know Mohammed because he is our own. We're privileged to have him in the business school. But Mohammed is a reader in human resource management at University of West of Scotland, and is also a fellow of the Chartered Management Institute. Mohammed has engaged in multidisciplinary research over the past 20 years. So Mohammed has a strong research background and in the disciplines of sociology, politics, and a wider discipline of business and management. He's an expert in equity or equality, diversity, and inclusion. So he has been involved in different advisory bodies looking at that. He's engaged in research that looks at organizations and societies and communities. Mohammed has published in several peer-reviewed journals. And of course, he's a consultant for different establishments, even the Scottish government as well. Mohammed is a member of a number of organizations, including the Diversity and Equality Alliance Refresher Group and the Scottish Football Association Equality and Diversity Advisory Board. Mohammed will tell you that during his spare time, he likes football as well. So maybe that's one of the things that he does. But this is just a summary of what Mohammed is going to bring to the table. So I don't want to talk too much. I think we'll have Mohammed say much about it. But within the next 20, 30 minutes, Mohammed would introduce this very engaging topic. What you need to do is keep your questions. Then there will be a time for you to ask questions as well. Feel free to use the chat box to put the questions there if you feel like I have to have the questions in the chat box and you don't want to say it personally. But it's going to be a very engaging one. So thanks everyone for coming, and I will give Dr. Mohammed Ishaq the stage to start the presentation. Thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Christian, and it's an absolute pleasure to be invited to the seminar series. And great work, Christian, that you're doing behind the scenes and getting these seminars off the ground. We used to have, these seminar series in the past, but then we had a bit of a gap there. But we reconvened those, so it's great to see so many colleagues and friends here today, actually, so for me to talk about this research. So as Christian was saying, I'm going to spend about 20 to 25 minutes since I've lost 5 minutes, Christian. So to get my research going. So I've got quite a lot of slides, no problem. I've got quite a lot of slides to get through, and I'll try and go through them fairly quickly, but you'll definitely have opportunities for discussion and debate, which is the bit I'm really looking forward to. So this study is focusing on a report that I did for SCONO, and I'll elaborate on that in a second, back in July 2019. So there's a couple of you here, including my esteemed colleague Jeanette from the library, who will know about the study already, that was published in the SCONO report in 2019. And I'm just waiting for a revised version of that of this study to be published in the International Journal of Public Sector Management. It's due out early next year. I don't know what edition yet, but certainly I'll indicate that at a later stage. I deliberately tried to avoid making this presentation too theoretical or academic. I'm certainly happy to answer questions to do with theories or frameworks, but I think what was important today was to get the lived experience of BAME staff working in libraries across to you, so that you can get a feel for their understanding and reflect on that. Unfortunately, my slides, if you were looking for some very snazzy slides with fantastic backgrounds, you're going to be disappointed. My slides are all very basic, and given some of the topics that have been covered in this particular subject today, I think having plain slides probably actually makes more sense anyway, because there's some really, very honest and frank information coming out here.
Did you like this recommendation? Hit the like button and watch it in full by clicking on the link in this video description. All citations recommended here are solely for educational purposes. Our aim is to provide the community with access to the educational/inclusive materials of excellency we come across, yours included. If you hold the copyright of any video or article cited here, or you think they should not be available on our channel, please let us know and we will remove them at your discretion.